Hey guys, I've got a special guest here on the channel today. It's Elizabeth.
Hi.
From Strangelove. Are you guys familiar with Strangelove? Thank you so much for connecting with me here in Cannes for TFWA 2025. It's the last video I'm doing of the show and I'm a little tired, but we wanted to make sure we get this video out because I love talking to you when you come to Cannes. It's the only place we see each other, I think, right?
It kind of is, but I always love seeing my fellow Armenian.
So you have the brand Strangelove, and you've launched a fragrance.
Yes.
Created by perfumer Hamid Merati Kashani, and it's another oud fragrance.
Yeah.
First of all, let's talk a little bit about how the brand started, and then we'll come to the latest fragrance.
Okay.
And then we can go through the collection that you started the brand with.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit. So you call the name Strangelove, and I know Strangelove is the name of a Depeche Mode song. So how did the name come about?
It is the name of a Depeche Mode song, but that's not where the inspiration for the name came from.
Okay.
The name came from, if you experience our scents, if you just spray it on, the oud is something that a lot of people, when we first launched, were not familiar with. And you're like, it's a little strange. And then you keep smelling it, and then it opens up, and then you start smelling it more, and it becomes like so lovely that
Develops, right?
It develops over time, and then you fall in love with it because you're addicted to it. And strange love.
Oh.
About all of them, it's like it was strange, but
I love it.
I love it. Yeah.
So when did the brand start?
We launched in 2014 at the Harrods Salon de Parfume.
Oh wow. So it's been over 10 years.
11 years.
So you celebrated 10 years last year?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We did, along with the Salon de Parfume.
Oh, wow.
And we launched with one product. That was an Atars. That was the Dead of Night. One product there.
So you had an Atars called Dead of Night, and you launched with that at Harrods.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I know. I look back now, and it was pretty incredible.
That's amazing. Yeah. So you have a total of 6 fragrances?
Yes.
And the latest is A Fire Within, created by Hamid Merati Kashani,
yeah,
who does a lot of Parfums de Marly fragrances. A big fan of his fragrances. Tell me a little bit about A Fire Within.
So, the last launch before this one, which was November, exclusively at Harrods, November 2024, we hadn't launched a fragrance since 2019.
Wow.
Because
that's when I met you.
Yes.
Here in Cannes.
In Cannes, you interviewed me then.
Yeah, I did.
I think I have 2 scents then?
No, you had 4, I think, or 5. No, you had 5.
The 5th one we launched in 2000. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and there was a little thing called COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That happened in 2020 because we had started to work on a scent, and then we had to put everything on the back burner, of course. So we picked it up again when all was clear, and we were inspired by getting through the pandemic. And we all thought, I don't even need to rehash it. We all know how we felt during that time.
Yeah, not a
I
fun
mean,
time.
It was desperate, and then the relief of that things would get back to the way we had remembered. Obviously never the same again, but at least we could function and live our lives again. So this is inspired by the desert bloom. Have you heard of the desert bloom?
No.
So in certain deserts all around the world, they're barren, you might have some cactus, some tumbleweed, but once in a long time, and the last one I remember was in the desert in California, it will get rain, and so much rain that the water penetrates deep down into the sand, and it germinates some flower seeds that have been dormant for 10 or 20 years. And they bloom. And then you have a carpet of flowers in the middle of a desert.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's a beautiful visual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what this signifies. It's us getting through terrible hard times, the pandemic or whatever else it is that's happened in your life, and finding that inner strength to get through it and to blossom again. So it's called A Fire Within. So you find that fire inside you.
Yeah.
And you have this power and this self-love. So it's really about self-love, finding yourself. It's not about needing to have love with somebody else. It's about finding that power and independence.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So what are we focused on here? Oud again, right?
They're all oud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is it that you like working with oud?
Well, because when I first discovered it in Borneo,
Oh.
I was working with sustainable farms in Borneo, and one of the crops they had was the tree that produces the oud. But they were sustainable. And they were growing the trees, and they were distilling the wood and then producing the oud.
Okay.
So I learned about the whole process, and as I smelled it, it was the same for me at first. It was so powerful. My brain couldn't, make any sense of it at all.
Yeah.
But then I kept smelling it, and I became obsessed with oud. So that's why. And remember, this was 2010, 11,
Okay.
12.
Quite a long time ago.
Yeah, and nobody knew what oud was.
Yeah.
So I launched it. I knew I wanted to do every single one with like real, sustainable, beautiful, high quality oud. And then I wanted to put other rare ingredients with the oud. So people thought I was insane. They're like, "Are you insane? That juice is going to be so expensive," which it is.
So do you consider your brand a Middle Eastern brand?
No,
or-
see, that's what I was getting to. I didn't create this brand for the Middle East at all.
Okay.
And I was really surprised when Harrods took us, but I guess they knew with the oud, but I didn't. But the Middle Eastern customer has found us, obviously.
And they like us.
And
They like you. They love you.
They love us.
Yeah.
Because the word spread, because they would tell their friends, this is like a lot of real oud, and that's what they look for. But we've really grown into the market that's as you head west. But it's not all. It's different scents for different parts of the world.
Okay.
That are the better sellers.
So why work with Hamid Merati Kashani?
Because I was told that he was an expert, one of the experts in working with ouds, and he was living in Dubai at the time. He still does. So we made a point of finding him, asking him if he would work with us. He was familiar with our other scents, and and he's also one of the loveliest men I've ever
He's
met.
such a nice guy. I've met him several times.
So easy to work with,
Yeah.
so lovely.
Okay. Can we
Yeah.
smell?
Yeah.
A Fire Within. So is it a fiery fragrance?
It's more of a smoky,
It's smoky.
but you're going to get some floral in there. You're going to smell the top.
Yeah, very smoky. And the oud is right there.
Yeah.
Very in your face. It's... What kind of oud are we working with?
Indian,
Indian oud. So there are animalic qualities here.
Yeah.
And how does it wear on the skin?
forever.
Forever.
But with all our scents, you'll know. It's 30 minutes later, it's going to be different. But you get this really nice journey as it's developing. So you need to just keep smelling it, and then the other ingredients will come out.
What else do we have here?
Well, the top is vanilla.
Oh,
But there's 3 kinds of vanilla.
wow.
Because Hamid is also an expert working with vanilla, too.
Yes, he
is, right? Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a fragrance called, he's got a great vanilla for Parfums de Marly. So this is all oud right away. So I'm assuming the prominent note here is oud. That's why I'm smelling oud right away with the smoke.
Yeah.
I'm not getting much vanilla, but most likely the vanilla is
Yeah.
balancing out the oud.
Yeah.
Then does it sweeten up as it's...
Yeah, it sweetens up more. The vanilla comes out more. And then it's got this calming quality. There's chamomile in it.
Oh.
There's some green apple, some carrot,
Will we
cedarwood.
notice those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you should with your nose.
Yeah.
But like I said, you're going to have to give it a bit of time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's oud. It's very strong. It's very potent. So I'm assuming this has really, really great longevity.
Yeah.
It's animalic, but it's not dirty. It's just the funk of the oud that we're
Yeah.
smelling. We're not having any additional animalic notes in here, right?
No.
And how is the oud? How does Firmenich have access to this oud? Is it specially
Yeah.
worked on, or?
Well, they only use sustainable, of course, first of all.
Yeah.
And we asked them, we needed a really high quality oud, so we said we really need the highest quality oud that you can offer us, and it's reserved for just a few customers. So we made a point of making sure we had the best. And also we're over 25% concentration.
Okay. This is very fiery. I think it's the smokiness that's in here. Also, I'm getting a lot of amber now, finally. Like,
Some
there's
amber.
a resinous touch in here.
Yeah.
I'm not experiencing much top notes here.
Huh, interesting.
Like, no freshness. It's all deep, dark, smoky, woody, oudy. But that's just my nose, and maybe it's the strip, and I haven't...
You know, it's funny because a lot of people get a hit of that vanilla in the beginning, and it lasts for a long time. And I would suggest to put it in your hair.
Oh.
Well, we do that with all our scents because it lasts forever in your hair. And if you just kind of do this, there'll be a whiff that comes out.
A whiff of it, yeah. So you have your fragrances in multiple formats, I'm assuming. You have oils as well,
We have
right?
the Atars for all of them.
Okay.
Which I found is, it's like a tiny market, which is the thing that always baffles me when I think back that we actually launched with an Atar. But it is a market that's growing.
Okay.
I mean, it's always been big in the Middle East. They love the Atars. So each one has a matching Atar. And we have these necklaces.
Oh, yeah. I've seen you wear those.
Yeah.
So this is the Atar.
Atar.
Yeah. So how would you wear the Atar? Would you lay this down first, dab it on, and spray
Yeah, I would layer it that way.
Yeah.
And this you can just take it with you, which is really nice.
Ooh, which fragrance is this?
Lost in Flowers.
Oh, I love that one.
I know.
Yeah, it's a yellow floral. We're gonna get to that, but anything else you want to say about A Fire Within?
No, I just think it's with our scents, you just have to take your time with them, and it's always like a slow burn. Whenever we launch a new scent, because we're not really advertising. People find out about us through word of mouth and reviews.
Yeah.
You're never going to see a billboard with A Fire Within on it.
Okay. So that was last year's release, and you didn't release a fragrance since 2019.
Yeah.
So which fragrance was that?
It was Fall Into Stars.
Let's check that one out. So Fall Into Stars was launched in 2019. And it was another oud, right?
Another oud, yeah.
I mean, you have some fragrances here that
aren't
feature oud, but they're not really the star.
Exactly.
This was another star.
Yeah, it's because we do have a good variety, and we'll talk about it. Where the oud isn't the first thing you smell, because a lot of people want to experience oud, but they don't need to have it so prominent.
This one actually is brighter than A Fire Within.
Yeah.
There's some aromatic notes up top or something fresh that cuts away from the oud, whereas the oud in Fall Into Stars seems more animalic. Here it's not.
The main ingredient besides oud is jonquille nectar.
Oh, jonquille is a type of magnolia, right?
It's a daffodil.
Daffodil.
Yeah.
Okay, like narcissus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a little nutmeg to give it that sparkle for the stars.
Wow. I like that brightness with the oud.
Yeah, it's different, right?
Yeah, yeah. And here, the oud it's acting oudy, but I am really experiencing the other notes. I think the jonquille or the daffodil is giving us the brightness.
Yeah.
What else do we have as a note here?
There's a little honey in there that you might smell.
Oh, okay. I am picking up something sweeter here.
Yeah, and then we have rosewood.
Rosewood.
And then there's henna.
Henna?
Yeah.
I haven't seen henna come up in a fragrance before. Henna that you paint on your...
Attar henna, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's a henna flower, right?
Oh, okay. I guess I knew that.
You did.
No, this is lovely, yeah. I mean, this is oud, but it's not all oud. Whereas I think A Fire Within was all oud.
Yeah, but smell the fire within later. Remember.
Okay.
Give it time.
Giving me a bit of campfire vibes, the Fire Within.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have a smoky. We really wanted to get that smokiness too.
Okay. So A Fire Within, Fall Into Stars.
People call this one, they say if you wear this, you smell rich.
Fire Within?
No. Fall Into Stars.
Fall Into Stars.
They call it our noble scent.
It's actually beautiful.
Yeah.
Really, really wonderful.
And it lasts forever.
Yeah. Okay, so that launched in 2019. What came before that?
2018, Lost in Flowers.
Ooh, I like this one.
Yeah, I know.
This one is not a lot about the oud, but it does feature oud, right?
Definitely, it has a lot of oud in it, but the way it's been balanced with the other ingredients gives the scent a much more like just the depth and richness. There's no like skanky kind of oud smell in it.
Okay.
And it comes out later too, a little bit.
Okay. This is like tropical flowers.
White flowers.
White flowers.
Gardenia, lily of the valley.
Ooh, I love this.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
There was a time I hated white flowers or flowers in general.
Yeah.
But the more I get deeper into this hobby, I love flowers.
Well, our challenge was nobody on the team likes, we don't like sweet scents, really.
Oh.
Sweet florals, like we just don't want it to be too much that way. But we wanted to make a floral, so we wanted to make a floral that wasn't super sweet. So part of the balance in this is French oak moss that comes out, the green, and that reminds me of the stem of the flower.
I love stemmy fragrances.
Yeah,
This is gorgeous.
But
really wonderful.
best ingredient in this that I love is I searched high and low because I like to read the history of some ingredients and see if there's like the mythology behind it or what it's been used for in like hundreds of years ago. So red champaka from India.
That's what I was thinking of. The champaka is in here. Yeah, I remember this because I've spoken about this quite a bit, and the champaka stands out.
Yeah.
There's a creamy factor about the champaka.
Yeah. And do you know it's known as the joy oil?
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
Joy oil.
Yeah. So it was used as an antidepressant, depressant back in the day.
Wow.
You probably still do use it. So of course I was like, okay, this needs to go in the flowers, in Lost in Flowers. You can't help but feel happy when you smell it.
Really? It's beautiful. That should be a name of a fragrance. Joy oil.
Joy oil, yeah.
But you know what? The color of this fragrance is also so dark compared to others. So.
Yeah, and the colors are going to vary depending on the batch. You know, always, so, because we use so many naturals.
Great. I love the Lost in Flowers.
Yeah.
All right, so that was 2018?
Yeah, and 2017 was Silence the Sea, and this is the one that's the most fun for me to have people smell, because I like to watch your reaction. I'm not going to say anything. You know what I'm talking about, because you smelled it, right?
This one's extremely challenging.
We call this one our bad boy. Yeah.
Oh, what makes it the bad boy? It's ambergris, right?
Yeah, but it's polarizing. I mean, some people fall madly in love with this.
Yeah.
And some people are like you, I could not wear it.
No.
But it'll still give it some time. It's spicy.
It's quite spicy.
So this has frankincense. This also changes, it opens up, but it's marine, it's not a beach. So I grew up in Vancouver, Canada, and this reminds me of growing up in Vancouver, Canada, because our ocean was dark and kelp and seaweed. And you just dive deep down. We'd go jumping off a boat and dive deep down, but you didn't know what you were going to get when you got down there. But also, it's a rainforest. So the rainforest comes right to the ocean. So you get that mix of like the damp wood with the ocean. So this one, there's a lot of conversation about this one.
Yeah.
When we love it for that. Like for me, I don't care if people hate our fragrances. But I love it if there's a conversation. It can be provocative.
Yeah, I agree.
But the people that love this love it. Like there's no going back.
So it's very polarizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is very challenging. Not only because it's marine. Really, you're smelling the seaweed and the kelp or whatever.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, it's real. And I kind of don't like those scents. And on skin, it's actually even it's amplified off the skin.
It's amplified on the skin, but you know, as the Attar, it's much softer. I should let you try it later.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different.
Silence the Sea. Okay, so what came before that?
Melt My Heart.
Oh, that one's a good one too.
Yeah.
This is another one that's not super oody. But you know what? Let's go back to the Silence the Sea. How much oud is in Silence the Sea? Because I didn't get too much oud.
Oh,
it was
you'll
a
get
lot
it. You
of
got to
ambergris.
keep. Well, that is. But we'll go back to it and you smell it because you've got to give it time. Because we just sprayed it.
Okay.
They all have a lot. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how much, but I will tell you that we've done some research. I can't speak for every brand out there because that would be ridiculous. I don't know every brand at all.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do know that we have some of the most oud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Melt My Heart is our gourmand. It has
chocolatey, powdery gourmand. I remember.
Yeah, it has some mandarin leaves in it, and the star ingredient besides the oud is the orris.
That's what I thought. Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's also a bit lipsticky.
Do you
get that? It's very creamy and buttery.
That's the orris. Yeah. Can I tell you a little story about orris?
Yeah. I love orris. It's one of my favorite notes.
Yeah. And you know it comes from the iris flower.
Yeah.
So I did some research to look at the history of it, and back hundreds of years ago, women would, if they wanted a man to fall in love with them, they would grind up the root of the iris flower into a powder, sprinkle it onto them and in their bath.
Wow.
And then they would walk past the man and he would instantly fall in love with her. So the term was, she would hold his heart in thrall.
Oh, I see where you're coming from with the name here.
Yeah. So basically, he would totally surrender to her, which is a little dangerous in a way.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be totally surrendering, but control them. So
Yeah.
that's why we have a little tagline that says, "Surrender your love, melt my heart."
Oh,
Nice.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So you have cacao in here,
Yeah.
right? It's not a gourmand that's super sweet.
Yeah, well,
it's not one. It's
we're not sweet.
Yeah. So you said your team doesn't like sweet scents.
Yeah, we're not. We know it's important. It's just that funny as a group, there isn't one of us that are like, no, we need a sweet. So we kind of, it's just how it happened to be. I guess that's why we're all gravitating to the same brand, because we have a lot of similar values and beliefs.
No, I love this one. Really, really do. It's a great gourmand, buttery, powdery, a bit makeup, lipsticky. It's delicious.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's nice.
So then we have the one that started it all, right?
The one that started it all.
Dead of Night.
Dead of Night.
How did you come up
I
with
know
that
you're going to
name?
ask me that. Listen, when I ran it past some people, they're like, "Are you insane? You're never going to sell a perfume that says Dead of Night." But one of my favorite songs ever is Blackbird,
By who?
the Beatles.
Oh, okay.
And you know how Paul McCartney sings it, and it's just the guitar and he sings it, and there's a line in there that says, "That's Blackbird singing in the dead of night." And every time, honestly, if I hear that song, I cry.
Oh, wow.
I can't help it. I don't know what it is. So that's where the name came from, and I fought tooth and nail. I'm going to keep the name. Because remember, this was 2014. There weren't all these trendy names out there so much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This one might be the one that actually changes the most.
What's the brightness I'm picking up?
The violet leaves?
Okay. Yeah, it does have that in there, huh?
Yeah. Sandalwood.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the oud, the sandalwood, green violet leaves. Rose, obviously there's rose.
It's quite mysterious.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's addicting.
It's very addicting, yeah. I mean, we'll have a customer come into Harrods and buy 10 bottles.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
They'll go into, we have one customer that comes every year to TFWA in Paris. And he comes on behalf, he comes from the embassy, the Saudi embassy.
Oh.
And he'll buy 100 bottles.
What? Whoa, what are they doing? Drinking it?
Gifts,
Wow.
weddings.
You know, I have to say, I love your bottles. They're simple, but
Yeah.
very classy. The caps are totally stand out.
It's the Fibonacci pattern.
So who came up with the branding and the look of the...
Well, I mean, I started it, but, as we move forward and make little improvements, we are a team, we have a group, so... But, I mean, I really wanted a brand that was like quiet elegance. It's simple. The caps are the Fibonacci pattern, which is a pattern for nature and beauty. And if you look really closely, you'll see little stars in it.
Wow.
And they're heavy. Like the quality is like, feel how heavy the cap is. And I just know
Yeah,
that
it's a heavy-duty cap.
if you're buying into a luxury brand that's not cheap, these little things make a difference. The glass is French glass. Even the sprays are from Europe, like well-made sprays. I think is really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where can people buy your fragrances? You mentioned Harrods.
Harrods in the salon.
Javoy.
Javoy. We're in various, we're really selective about where you're able to even find us.
Okay.
And we're careful because we are a high-priced brand, so we want to be with other boutiques that have
Similar.
close prices, and we also want to make sure that the salespeople are well trained and understand, because I think people need to know that we don't spend our money on the packaging because all our money goes into the juice.
Yeah.
So people really need to understand that it's actually the quality of the juice that's why the price is what it is. We're in Oswald. Obviously, you can get us online. We're at Lucky Scent Bar.
Online meaning your own website.
Our own website.
You ship globally, or?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what about the future? What do we have in the store?
I knew you were going to ask me that too.
I always try to pry.
We're always working on things. One thing that we did a test launch, and it did really well and sold out, was a body oil.
Oh.
So luxurious body oil, the highest quality, obviously, ingredients and most nourishing. And we just did it for Dead of Night. And we did a classic clear, but we did a shimmer.
Oh.
So that sold really well. So we're now going to do 3 scents in a 50 ml size for Dead of Night, Melt My Heart, and Fall Into Stars. And that will be in both, but that'll launch in the spring. And of course, we're always working on our next scent, but it takes us a while.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for doing
Thank
the video.
you, Sebastian.
Yeah.
I always love hanging out with you.
Yeah, I appreciate you
Go
doing
back
it.
and smell. Go back and
Okay,
smell.
let's smell them again.
Yeah.
All right. So A Fire Within has opened up, but I think it's still focusing on the fiery, smoky incense. It's incense, right?
Yeah.
And the oud. So this is a very oud-focused fragrance, but it's taken it into a smoky direction. It's also got that resinous, ambery dryness in the back. Okay, so the next one we spoke about was
Fall into Stars.
Fall into Stars. So this does get brighter, and the oud is not as in your face as A Fire Within. So it makes the fragrance wear a little easier. And I guess some people can be challenged by oud because it's not a very conventional note.
Yeah.
So I like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely got that brightness. To me, the brightness balances it out a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
I mean, our perfumes obviously aren't for everybody. That's very clear. But we have a lot of perfume collectors and a lot of really knowledgeable customers.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people have to understand fragrances to really appreciate these fragrances. So then we spoke about Lost in Flowers. Now this is just gorgeous. Really, really beautiful. And again, 15 years ago, I would never like a fragrance like this.
Really, yeah.
Never. Because it's too floral for me. It was too floral for me, but I love it now.
Can I tell you, excuse me, a little tip? Dead of Night with Lost in Flowers together.
A great layering combo. Awesome.
So I would do 4, if you like Lost in Flowers more, I'd do 4 sprays of Lost in Flowers and then 2 Dead of Night.
Oh, wow.
Or I'd do 16 sprays of Lost in Flowers and 8 sprays of Dead of Night.
Wow, that is beast mode. Okay. Then that Lost in Flowers is gorgeous. And it's that champaka that does it for me. I knew there was something a bit tropical in there. Okay, and then we had, the challenging one. Silence the Sea is just really, really challenging. It's so hard to wear. I can't wear this for
You know who really gravitates to this are people in Scandinavia.
Oh.
You know, the sauna and the jumping in the ocean and then going into the sauna.
Okay. Yeah, that one's tough, but it has brightened up and it has calmed down a bit. Sadly, it's not for me.
Can't like all of them.
No.
I'd be worried if you liked all of them.
And to me, this next one, Melt My Heart, it smells like makeup.
Yeah, interesting. I don't get that.
Is there rose?
Is there some rose in there? Tuberose.
Usually, I've noticed that iris or orris. Is there violet?
No, there's no violet. Tuberose.
So usually, like when they add orris and they also add rose, it kind of creates a makeup-y effect.
Oh,
So I
okay.
feel like I'm picking it up, but maybe it's just the orris that's used in here. But it's also really, really awesome. It's so cozy and buttery.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like people say it's like on a night. It's like you want to put it in and like drink a brandy and be cozy at home, and it's also very sexy.
Yeah. The thing is, the word melt is in the name, and I feel like you're dealing with a melted, buttery kind of concoction. All right, and then last but not least, Dead of Night. That's actually really, really great. This is your big seller, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting though because obviously it was the first one we launched, and it's had more time for people to talk about it. We're pretty well known in the Middle East.
Okay.
I mean, people will come in with a picture and say, "Where can I find this?" But it depends on the region. Like Melt My Heart is really popular in Europe.
Oh, wow.
And the thing I find interesting is that more men prefer Melt My Heart than women.
Wow.
Yeah, men love it.
Okay.
But like I said, Silence the Sea, Germany, Scandinavia. Yeah, Dead of Night is kind of universal. And Fall into Stars, the U.S. Like Lost in Flowers and Fall into Stars, more people in the U.S. And Melt My Heart because they're not as oody.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gorgeous.
Yeah, well, thank you for spending so much time with me and going through my collection. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. If you're curious to learn more about the fragrances, I have a link to Strangelove website. You can go there and check them out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, I've got Hamid Merati Kashani here, creator of A Fire Within by Strangelove. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
So how did you connect with Elizabeth, and how did you come up with this fragrance?
Well, we had the idea to create a fragrance which illustrates a little bit the desert and the wood and a little bit oriental vibe. So we created that fragrance together not long time back, but it was a very interesting project to work on it.
So she tells me that you're an expert with oud. What do you like about oud?
Yeah, I love oud. You know, I'm working since 15 years now in Dubai. And during that time, before I was not in touch with this ingredient, but during that time I learned so much about the qualities, different qualities of oud in different places and different plantations and species. And but it's always great to see how different the oud is reacting with other ingredients. It's it's fantastic, and is a typical Middle Eastern ingredient.
So you've learned how the ingredient of oud interacts with other
Absolutely.
notes and
How
ingredients.
it develops with other ingredients.
What are
yes.
some, like ingredients that work well with the oud that's in here?
Definitely. So we used here as a top note, we use some apple and some citrus. So a little bit of fruity and aromatic note to bring some beautiful strengths on the top note. And then we use in the middle note some carrot, like carrot seed.
Is that what gives us the powdery effect?
Yes, together with the chamomile, which is there. And the real, powderiness and so on is coming from the vanilla absolu from Madagascar, which brings a lot of depth and strength to or powdery note to the fragrance. And then you have some beautiful spice like the pink pepper, not the black pepper, but the pink pepper is rounding up the beautiful vanilla, and some cedar wood and some other spices like clove, maybe a little bit gaillac wood, and then of course the beautiful oud quality which we have in our collection, which we are blending together with this fragrance.
So what is the oud? What kind of oud is this?
This is an Indian oud.
Indian oud.
Yes.
Is that known to be animalic? Is this
No, this is known as a bit more leathery, less animalic, but very powerful. And the quality what we have in our let's say collection or in our list is a quality from Assam. So Assam in India is one of the best quality of the oud.
Oh, wow. So I'm assuming this oud is very expensive to use.
Yes, it's quite expensive, but it's very powerful also, and really it gives so much darkness and deepness to the fragrance. It's really very nice.
I feel like when I smell this fragrance, it's quite overpowering the oud itself.
Yeah.
And I don't get a lot of contrast with other notes. It's just a lot of oud I'm smelling. It's powdery and smoky.
Yeah, this is anyway the idea, to have a smoky note inside with the oud, and the oud is the main ingredients which drives the fragrance. Yes, and of course we have, as I mentioned, the apple, the vanilla, the cedar wood, and the gaillac wood to bring some spices, and the gaillac wood brings that smokiness to the fragrance.
Okay.
And
so there's no incense here.
There is a little bit of incense, but the gaillac wood is the ingredient which is bringing really the smokiness and a little bit of a spiciness. I love to work with gaillac wood.
Really? So what other oud fragrances have you created?
Wow, well, I did for Homage the Opus 15, which is a King Blue.
King Blue.
Which is also quite strong in oud, because they asked me to use a high quantity of oud in the fragrance. And if you want to really to use oud, you have to use a few percentage in the fragrance. Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you, like, formula is ends up being 100%. So what percentage of oud is in here?
Well, here I use quite a high amount. I think it's around 4 or 5% of the natural oud.
Just 4 or 5%.
Just 4 or 5%.
But it feels like it's like 100%.
Well, it's too strong. But I don't have the formula here, but it was a high amount of oud. But this quality what I have is not just something which we need to use a lot. But even with 5%, 10%, it's giving a lot of boost to the fragrance.
Okay. It's also quite peppery, and you mentioned the pink pepper.
Yes, exactly.
And what's the difference? So the difference between, you mentioned it's not black pepper, it's pink pepper. Yes. So what differences do we get from those two?
So the black pepper is a little bit of a sharper pepper, and the pink pepper is a little bit more softer, more rounded, and it works very well with vanilla, for example, with vanilla absolu from Madagascar, which is also quite expensive.
Okay. So I'm actually not picking up a lot of vanilla in this.
The powdery, you don't smell the powdery note?
I mean, it's very powdery.
Yes, it comes from the vanilla, but together, in combination with the spices, and maybe it's very well connected, those ingredients, so that the vanilla is not really that strong, but it's
there's a lot in there.
Yes,
Wow,
yes.
okay. It's not a gourmand fragrance whatsoever.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It's more of a spicy, woody. Yes, and smoky note.
Smoky.
Yes.
Do we also have some ambery resinous touches here?
We have a little bit of benjoin.
Benjoin, okay.
Yes, which gives a little bit of the amber together with the vanilla.
Okay.
This gives this amber note to the fragrance.
Great. How did you like working on this project?
Well, I love wood.
Yeah.
And since I work together with Strangelove, I am allowed to use high amount of wood, so I can really express myself how it is to use a higher quantity of wood, because it's very expensive too.
Great. I've always wanted to chat with you about fragrances. Tell me a little bit about what it is that you like about making fragrances.
Well, it's a passion which comes, from the very beginning of more or less your young age. The thing is that I'm half Iranian, half German, and I was living in Iran. I grew up my childhood in Iran, and there was an area called Kashan. And this Kashan, there's a rose from Kashan, so Kashan rose. And when I was a child, I was visiting those rose fields quite often. And I was always addicted to smell, always those.
Yeah.
And then after the revolution in '79, we had to go to Germany, and I had the chance to be trained by a master perfumer.
Oh, wow.
And to learn, let's say, how to use ingredients together. And then, of course, you need to have a little bit of talent and the feeling how to use the ingredients together. I have sometimes the feeling that ingredients are talking to you.
Oh, wow.
Take me like a little bit more.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, totally.
It's really something which is I love to work. I'm a kind of ingredient whisperer or something.
Oh, wow. Okay. What are some? You said you like working with oud.
Yes.
What other ingredients do you like to work with?
Well, there are some ingredients like I love to work with cardamom and cinnamon, for example.
Okay.
This is always my signature to put always, like I did later in the past. So there's always a signature of cinnamon and cardamom.
Okay.
So I did here also, I use also maybe a little bit of cardamom.
Oh, wow.
Which is called Hell in Saudi Arabia, and it smells like the Arabic coffee, which is different to the normal coffee.
I come from Lebanon, so there's
Hell,
two kinds of coffees.
Yes, exactly.
The ones with hell,
Yes.
which is not really hell,
Not
it's
hell,
the
no.
spice,
No, not go to
or
hell.
the regular one. So yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I use this kind. I love gaillac wood.
Okay.
I love smoky notes and smoky ingredients, and in combination together with vanilla. It's really. And what I learned since I'm in Dubai is to work with ingredients to do strong and very lasting fragrances.
Okay.
So this is maybe my signature. Maybe sometimes I'm not so beautiful. Maybe I'm creating more edgy fragrances,
Yeah.
but very strong and long-lasting.
Do you consider a fire within an edgy fragrance?
It's maybe when you smell the wood, you believe it's a little bit edgy.
Yeah.
But it's very strong and very long-lasting.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite fragrances that you've created?
Well,
You've already mentioned Marley.
one of them is this fragrance.
Oh yeah,
of
A
course.
Fire Within.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about.
Yes, exactly. No, but the latest fragrance which I did for Mali, which is the Altair.
Yeah.
Which is
I love
again
it.
Also
It's a vanilla.
It's a vanilla for
Yeah,
men.
yeah, with
And,
cardamom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a little bit of touch of cinnamon.
Yeah.
And I use there also the same, let's say, quality of vanilla absolu from Madagascar, like I was using in this
Wow.
fragrance. Not the same quantity,
Yeah.
but the same quality.
Quality.
Because we are, since I'm working with Strangelove, they want me to use the best and the highest
quality. Yeah.
highest quality of ingredients. This is what I did.
Great. Anything else you want to say about Fire Within or making fragrances before we wrap up?
Well, I would say that this fragrance, once you use it, it's starting to become addictive to you, and you want to use it always and more and more. And this is something which I like always to see, and to have my name on it, that when someone is doing a strong and very long-lasting fragrance, that combine it with my name.
Oh, great. That's awesome. Thank you
very
so much.
Thank you very much, Bibi.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.